everyone, welcome back to Organized Joy. Today's episode is about insurance. You know that thing, insurance? You see it come off your bank account every month and you grudgingly let it go. But you know what? Insurance wasn't invented because things don't go wrong. Things do go wrong. So what I wanted to do today was explain to you all the different kinds of insurance that there are that you should consider for yourself. And then I have some tips and tricks for you based on your insurance and what you can and can't do, or some ideas to make sure that you're covered and you have all the details in place. Simple stuff to make your life easier. That's what I'm about, right? So let's get started. There are various types of insurance. The first one is household insurance. Now this is everything that's in your house that is not part of the house, like part of the structure. So it's things you bring in, like couches and TVs and lamps and all that sort of stuff. So that's what household insurance is. Building insurance is different. Building insurance is something you have to have if you have a bond. The bank will insist on it. It will put its insurance on as part of its bond. But you can also get that type of insurance from your insurance company, whoever does your household. And it's good to let the bank do that insurance, but then get a quote from your insurance company, because it might be a better quote. And that insurance covers you for all the walls, the roof, like if God forbid something happens, like lightning strikes your house and it blows all the electrical stuff. So that's what building insurance is. And as I said, if you have a bond, you have to have that. It's super important. It's very expensive if you don't. The next one is car insurance. Car insurance is if you have a car, there are crazy people out there, crazy drivers, you have to have insurance, as simple as that. They won't let you take a car off a dealership floor without having insurance. Don't cancel it. It's worth having, I promise you. Then there's special item insurance. So if you are within your household insurance, you can specifically specify certain things. So for example, a camera or a cell phone or a certain piece of jewelry. And those things need actual invoices. The insurance company will want to see the value that you are insuring to make sure that they insure it correctly if you're going to specially section it off, that it isn't covered within your household insurance. The next type of insurance is medical insurance. Medical insurance to me is your medical aid. It's life or death. You don't want to be without medical aid. You don't want to end up at a government hospital if something happens to you. And don't be one of those people with me going right now, yeah, but I'm always healthy. Nothing ever happens to me. I never get sick. Tomorrow you'll call me and tell me that you broke your leg while you were walking up the stairs at home. And don't laugh. I know somebody who did that exact thing. She wasn't running. She just simply tripped on her own stairs going up them in her house and she broke her leg. So you do not want to be stuck in a government hospital. Then there's life insurance. Now this is also a biggie for me. If you have a bond or you have any kind of debt, you need to have life insurance. Life insurance is not there for someone who you put down as a beneficiary to get rich one day when they get rid of you. It's actually that when something happens to you one day, that life insurance covers all your debt, so nobody else has to pay it off on your behalf. That's what's important, and you need to make sure that your life insurance covers the value of your total debt. So if that changes on a yearly basis, you need to change your life insurance on a yearly basis. And that brings me to the last thing, which is a will. A will is so important to have. The banks will do this for you. You don't have to get a lawyer to do it and cost a whole lot of money. The banks do it for you. And make sure you set that aside, because if you don't, it will go to the state if you haven't selected a beneficiary. And you don't want that either. It makes it very complicated for the people who should get that money to pay off debt for you. Now there's also other things like retirement annuities and disability benefits and what have you. But to me that's not insurance as such. And my financial advisor Andrew is going to join us in a few episodes time and give us a whole lot of advice on that. So I'm going to keep that separate to this episode. So those are the kinds of insurance you need to consider. Household, specialized items within your household, building insurance if you own a home, car insurance, medical aid, life insurance, and you need a will. Okay, now what I want to give you is a list of things that I call my tricks when it comes to insurance. Well, tips should we rather say. I would hate for insurance people to think I'm tricking them. But tips for you. So the first thing you need to do is anyone who has insurance, an insurance policy right now, or if someone is taking out insurance, you need to check all the details on your insurance policy. You don't want to be caught out because something on there is incorrect, you didn't notice it, and then they don't pay you out for it. So take your insurance policies and go through it with it like a fine-tooth comb. Not like a fine-tooth comb, with a fine-tooth comb. Mark off all the things that need to change. So spelling errors, ID numbers that have the wrong number, addresses that are wrong. Whatever is wrong, fix it. The detail, if it's an iPhone 5 versus an iPhone 6, it needs to be correct if you want it insured and paid out accordingly. So mark it all off on your insurance policy, scan it in and send it back to them. And then make sure that those changes have been made. You don't want to say your car has been insured at a certain residence and then it gets stolen and you say it's at your house and your house address is your old address. You don't want to be stuck with someone breaking into a house and you had stipulated you had burglar bars, should I say, or an alarm actually, and the assessor comes and you have neither. They're not going to pay you out. So you need to make sure the detail is correct, please. And this is why it's very important to have insurance, because if something does happen and you haven't valued the items at the correct amount, when they pay you out, they will pay you out to what you said the value was. And if you have gone and tried to save some money by undervaluing, you won't be able to replace that item with the same item. So I know it's a grudge, but for us, the other day we got hit by lightning and our electric fence got completely fixed. All the lights outside were blown, it was fixed. The palm tree got hit by a lightning, shame, and it died. It had to be taken out of the garden. They paid for it because we had correctly insured the house. If something is stolen, you want to replace it with exactly what you had. I know that the memories might be on a specific item, but you don't want to have a piece of jewelry that's been insured that then you have to replace and you get something that's half of what it was because you were schnoop and you didn't value it correctly. So you need to make sure these items are correctly done. Now, jewelry evaluations are very key. Have all the evaluations of your items ready and send them into your insurance company so that they have them. They know you're not joking, they know you're not being schnoop, and they have the exact thing or value or invoice with them. Now that brings me to my biggest trick. When I buy anything that needs to be part of the insurance, whether that's a washing machine or a piece of jewelry or a camera or a new TV, I take pictures of it. I take pictures from every single angle. I take of the serial number, I take of the invoice, and I take even of the warranty. I save it all in one of my directories under my insurance tab, and then if something does happen, even if it breaks and I need to go back to the manufacturer, I have all the details there. So the other day my cell phone just decided to stop working and I had all pictures and the invoice. I knew exactly what I was insured for. I sent it off and they replaced it for exactly the same thing. That's what you need to do. Pictures of everything. Now obviously most of you probably have never started to do this. So it takes a little bit of time to start with, but go around your house and take pictures of all your items. It's good to know that your washing machine is a D5, for example, just to start there. And then the model name, and take off the serial number. It helps, I promise you. You'll be so happy you've done it when you need to claim. And then lastly, all your guarantees and warranties, make sure you keep them in a file. That way, everything's in one place. So if something does break, you can quickly go straight to the file, you know where everything is, find that exact item and pull it out and see what you can do. Now obviously I really hope nothing bad happens to anybody. I'm by no means willing this on anybody, but insurance wasn't invented because things didn't go wrong. And as I said to you, we got hit by lightning the other day, and I was so glad I was insured correctly. Every time that insurance amount comes off my account every month, it makes me grimace. But the month after that lightning hit and they paid out, I actually smiled. It was worth it. So what I have done for you is I have created a list number 37. It's got everything you need to know about insurance, everything you should consider, all the different types that I went through at the beginning, plus all my tips and tricks that I've just been through. So go check it out and get your insurance in order. It's January. You have a bit more of a quieter time than the rest of the year, but I promise you, you'll be so glad you've done it. If you haven't hit subscribe, please hit subscribe now. If you think this video was useful, give me a thumbs up. If you've got any questions or anything, put a comment below and I'll be sure to answer it for you. Or I can try to direct you in the right way. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on insurance. Thanks very much for joining me at Organized Joy, organizing your life from A to Z.